Just gonna do a short water walk today. What do you think? I don't know. Here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of things actually. I'm seeing beautiful tropical highland forest, 1,000 meters. A bit higher than 1,000 meters right now. I'm seeing beautiful cool weather in the morning. I'm seeing the sun come out. It's spreading its vitamin D on the people, at least the people that are able to expose their skin, their face, expose their face for others to look upon them and see their thinking, not hiding. Absorbing that vitamin D and getting strong and healthy. Eating good food. Eat good food. Get out in the sun. Find water, if you can, from the earth. It's hard for most people. Most of it's in plastic, right? I mean, my water's in plastic right now, but only for a relatively short time. What else can I say? When people start talking about putting other people in camps, wake up. Look up some Matthias Desmet chats, Chris Martenson, Dan Gregory. Have a look and see if you see yourself reflected in that. And if you do, how about have a think, right? Have a think. What else? You want to put unapproved drugs into 5-year-olds? Do the same thing and have a think on it, right? Anyway, I'm kind of pure raging today. So it was a good day for a water walk. Good day to be out in the forest. I'm gonna switch it so we can look at the forest. Oh, what else? Mandates, all this stuff. Just say no. Refuse it. This is your time. This is our time. 10 years from now, you're gonna be able to look in the mirror and go, okay, I stood as strong as I could. Or maybe you'll look in the mirror and go, wow, I bent over within the hour. Look at me. How are you going to live with yourself if that's it? How do people that you know, informed the authorities back in the 30s, Germany, Austria, wherever, 40s, informed where the Jewish family was living? How do they look at themselves 10 years later? How long can the personal con that you would need to create to keep living, how long could you stick with that? I guess some people could stick with it their whole freaking life. But I'll tell you what, I don't think most people can. Right? So here's something to think about. Doesn't mean you don't need to be out yelling at the world. You don't need to be anything. You need to be seen and just don't go along with it. In a quiet, small way, big way, it doesn't matter, right? That's what I think. I'll tell you, I ain't shifting from my position. Not 1 inch. I'll tell you, I'm ready. I'm fucking ready. Anyway, I'm gonna flip it so we can... I'm ready. For what? Oh, for a walk in the forest. Okay, hang on a sec. There we go. Oops, laces are untied. Okay, we're back. I'll tell you something. This tree, there it is back there, it's so beautiful to me. I've been watching it, I've been coming up and down here for well on 6 years almost. Watching all the plants change and the trees that fall, watch them disappear into the forest. And this tree came down with a big boom part of it, and you can see part of that trunk that's really not a tree anymore, but there's that other tree that's wrapped its legs, holding on, holding it together. So in that dead trunk, there's still life in it, right? There's insects, who knows, there's birds might be in there. Maybe there's a burrowing snake of some sort up there, who knows, right? I don't know. I'm not gonna go up, but... And then there's that other tree that's crawled up and is holding it all together, gripped tight in its legs. For who long? Who knows how long? Who knows how long it will be able to support these trees in their elderly stage, you know? Maybe even the tree that appears dead right now, well, actually that trunk is just suspended in midair, suspended by this tree with its legs wrapped around it. At some point it will crumble, right? We're up here in the tropics and things disintegrate very quickly, you know? I know this. Like for me, like I replace my propane stove every few years, right? I think I'm on my 3rd one now. Because, I mean right now it's drier or getting drier and all that, but during this rainy season, things just crumble, right? It's life, it's nature at work. You can see it even in a propane freaking stove. And so that trunk that's being held up, eventually it will just become soft and stuff and start to chip down, and at some point maybe a big huge chunk of it will come down with a great crash, you know? And then it'll be on the ground and other living things will make it a home perhaps, or, you know. You know? Who knows how long that will last? Maybe it'll be like decades, or maybe it'll be tomorrow. It's really difficult to say. I think a bit longer though. I don't think tomorrow. When I look at it, it's holding on for a while, you know? And that's a really nice feeling, you know? I remember my friend Gung, I live in her and her husband Piat's house, you know, up here in the mountain. And you know, I live alone, and I've lived alone a long time, and I prefer it. But you know, at one point early on, well, she knows me now, right? No need to ask. But early on, she says, "Don't you get lonely?" I says, "No, not there, not there." I feel like I'm surrounded. This is going to sound pretty hokey, but it's true enough. I'm surrounded by incredible diversity right now, and trees, plants, sounds, water, animals too. Although I don't see the animals much, you know. And out on the prairie, you see animals really easily here. There could be a tiger right up there. I wouldn't know it unless it was stinky. Sometimes you can smell them. Like, I remember being really close to a bear and go, "Woo! You need a bath, boy." And yeah. Anyway, I'm sure. Anyway, yeah. So the incredible diversity. So I really do feel like I'm amongst my friends here. You know, and also there's people around too, right? I'm not off on my own. That sort of myth is kind of fun, but I'm surrounded by the people in this village I live in, and most of them I just get along with perfectly well. I'm an outsider, and I'm fine with that, you know. Part of its language, part of its culture, right? But I'm fine, and people, from the whole, just are happy to let me live my life, I guess, and I'm more than happy. I mean, it seems preposterous to even consider otherwise, but more than happy that they live as they do as well. That's how we need to be in the world, right? But we're at a perilous time, I think. I think so. It's not, I mean, part of it's heightened because of my frame of mind or what I'm seeing today, right? But yeah, this really, yeah, I get, you know, it's just the stuff with, I think there's so many people speaking out, and it's so eloquently, you know, and think of all the people, you know, fighting for early treatments, for all the doctors and researchers, and so many of them have been so horribly vilified for only doing their work, right? For only trying to look closely, but speaking a different, sometimes really different, sometimes a little different story from what the main sort of thrust of things are right now. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate all of them, you know. But right now, I think Matthias Desmet, I think he might be one of the most important voices right now, because we're on a cusp of potential cusp of a real shift, or not. It's not a shift because it's been happening, but a real paradigm shift. I don't know what else other word to use, but anyway. Hey, I'm coming to the rock of transition any minute, any second here. So I'm going to do that. Here, I'll show you the rock of transition. Beautiful, huh? So beautiful. Here's the rock of transition. Usually I switch here to selfie mode. Of course, I've been in selfie mode for a bit already. So let's switch again. There you go, right? Okay. Anyway, just a short one today. I didn't even film the filling of the jugs, which I usually do. And my actual intention was not to even say anything. It was just to show the nature, right? And you know, I'm going to stick with my belief that in whatever way a person can, to get out in the sun, to get out in nature, around trees, around the sounds of nature. Even those devoted urbanites. Is this arrogant for me to say I think it's necessary to find it? Is it a plant in your house? I don't know. Certainly not enough for me. But maybe it's enough for some, just to remind them of some sort of connection. Or not, I don't know. Anyway, that's it for today. A little bit heavy, I guess, so I didn't really just beep beep. Just wanted to show the beautiful nature and beautiful time of year here. And one thing that I've noticed here up in Chiang Mai is like going out with my mom. I go in on Fridays and practice kendo and go for dinner with my mom and lunch, and it's really nice, you know. And we're both seeing a shift up here. A weight feels like it's being lifted. Like people said, okay, enough. We'll wear the stupid mask for a while more. And even now, when I walk through the village, I was up there yesterday, you can see, like every week there's a few less people bothering with the masks, right? Everyone knows. And the mask is just a symbol, right? I'm not saying they're good or bad. I'd say they're pretty much useless in most situations, but whatever. It's clothing, right? So wear it if you want. Anyway, it feels like there's a lifting, where you're hearing news from the UK and they're all freaking out. South Africa's going, what are you talking about? Wait a minute, we told you it was, oh, okay, well. Anyway, but, you know, then we can talk about manipulation, all that control stuff, fear, and all that. But over here, it feels like there's a shift happening. It's very beautiful to see. There was a moment where I thought, oh, I wonder if that beautiful Thai spirit, you know, joy of life, acceptance of other people, you know what I mean? Just on a very simple level. I wondered if it was going away, but it's not away. I see it every day. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'll see you next week, I guess, if you're watching this, and Alpushen. See you on the flip side, and get out in the freaking sun if you can.